Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another session of Pulaski County Fiscal Court. Certainly glad to see each one here. We have some business to take care of for the county today. We do have one magistrate at absence, and as our normal procedure here, we will have 30 seconds of silence, and then I've asked Mr. Turpin, our magistrate from 1st District, to lead us in the pledge. But the reason Mr. Wheeldon is absent today, I want you to keep his family in prayer. He lost his grandson. His visitation is tomorrow, and then the funeral is Thursday. So just remember him in prayer. It's a 20-year-old grandson that had cancer, and they treated him for a good while, but he did pass on Sunday, I think. So just certainly keep him in your prayers and your thoughts going forward. Does anyone else have any requests or anything we should mention?
Remember my mom. She's 95 years old and getting awfully tired.
Remember Miss Lois Hatfield? Anyone else? If not, if everybody will ask if they'll bow your head and just for a brief moment of silence. Thank you very much. If everyone please stand and face the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item of business would be to approve the minutes from the August 13th court meeting. I think you have a copy in front of you. Briefly look over those and see if there's any changes or comments to those minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Strunk makes a motion to approve the minutes, and Mr. Renshaw seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. In old business, we have the Judicial Center bid listed on there, but we are not ready to, we got some more details to work on that. That's cleaning services at the Judicial Center. We're still working through some process there that have came up since we listed this. So I want to pass on that. Next item will be in new business. We're discussing the county tax rate. Last meeting, we made a motion to leave it the same rate at 4.4, and to do that, we had to have a public hearing and advertise in the newspaper twice. We did that. We had a public hearing Friday, and no one showed up to protest or to give any comments about it. So I would ask for a motion to approve, an official motion to approve leaving the county tax rate on property at 4.4, which it has been for some time.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Strunk to leave county tax rate the same, and Mr. Wilson seconds. Any comments, questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. We've got one road removal that's been asked to take out a section in the 1st District. It's called Grand Trace Road or Drive. It's in Mr. Turpin's district. They're asking to remove 300 feet of that driveway or roadway, and I would need a couple of volunteers to go look at that.
I'll go.
I will too.
Mr. Renshaw and Mr. Strunk will look at that and report back to us at a later meeting. Thank you, guys. Next up will be Mr. Chris Jones with the EPAD PACE funding. Has a lot of information to deliver to us. Looks like he's carrying a lot of notes.
Yes. All right, everyone, good morning, and if you remember, I was here a couple times previous in the year. This is all about PACE financing for the Horse Soldier development. What had happened was the county had to pass an ordinance called an Energy Project Assessment District to then allow a property owner like a Horse Soldier or Bosch Berries to come forward to ask for essentially a special assessment for part of their capital stack in the development. And so that's why I'm back today with regards to a resolution that's in front of you to authorize that special assessment approval from Horse Soldier. At a high level, that is what this is, but to kind of get into a couple of things with regards to the specific resolution. There is a petition, so the property owner here is petitioning, and so the petition packet is the packet that's in front of you that starts with the application. So it's essentially an application for the project, and you know, as the program administrator, I guess I should you know, just make clear again. So Energize Kentucky, through the ordinance approvals earlier in the year, we were assigned as the program administrator. So we review all of the information that is necessary, and that is all here in the application from the property owner entity. At again, kind of a very high level, there's really two main things that are part of this application. One is the energy audit and the energy savings documentation that is required by the EPAD law. And so we did review all of that information, which we always do as part of these requests. And so basically those energy efficiency improvements is on the next page, which is titled the Energy Project Summary Form. So each of those line items, you know, again, we reviewed. The improvement cost is listed there for you. Again, each building system from a new construction perspective just has to show energy savings documented, which was done in an professional energy audit that we reviewed. So that's the first of, again, at a very high level, the main important things for this application. The second piece is under, again, kind of referencing back to the energy project application, the current lender information. So again, because this is a special assessment that holds a lien position above the mortgage, the mortgage holders, not only the current mortgage holder, but then the future construction lender, when the project financing all does close, which I've been told is going to be here in mid-September, both the existing mortgage lender and the future mortgage lender, which is going to be traditional bank, they both have to provide a written consent, and we have provided that in the documentation right behind that energy project summary form. So as far as the project application, which is again essentially the petition that is Exhibit A, referenced as Exhibit A here under the resolution in front of you. The second piece to the resolution is the EPAD financing agreement. We had presented that previously here in the month to County Attorney Hatfield and Judge Todd for their review. What happens there is that as the closing date gets closer, then there will be a final assessment schedule. And in your packet, I did include the substantially final assessment schedule, and that would be if they were going to close this week, let's just call it, because what happens here is that they will lock in their interest rate like 3 or 5 days prior to when they're actually going to close with the construction loan. And so as part of this resolution, then it is authorizing the judge to then sign a final notice of assessment, which is then what we would record with the property. And then again, that final assessment would be part of that notice of assessment. So lots of kind of connecting dots here. Hopefully that made some sense, but certainly yeah, would entertain questions.
When we sign on, well, as the county signs off on this, actually the city had to do the same thing, right? Or is it?
No, just the county.
Just
So
the
when we
county.
did create the EPAD ordinance, we did state that it would be the geographical boundaries for the entire county. So even in this case where the property is located within city limits, the authorization through that EPAD ordinance is just here in front of the fiscal court. So we don't have to go in front of two bodies.
Now, is the physical court or the taxpayers of the county held liable if this is not paid back?
They are not, yeah. So, yeah, as a reminder of kind of how this special assessment does work, is that this is all private capital, so there's no funds being requested from the county for this. Once the special assessment authorization is approved, then, it will, be collected and billed directly from Energize Kentucky as the program administrator, which we, stated in, the ordinance. And then if there would be a worst-case scenario, a default or a foreclosure, then the special assessment would just get placed on the tax lien foreclosure process for collection, and certainly not the obligation of the county.
So it wouldn't cost the taxpayers any money?
No, kind of to answer also pointedly to that question, is that this special assessment that would be recorded on the property is just for this one tax parcel. It does not affect any other, county residential or commercial business. This is only for this one tax parcel.
And I just got this morning, but I was looking over it. This says market value of property, $68 million. Is that anticipated value once everything is built? Or?
That is correct, yeah. So there, as part of the application here that we, again, reviewed, there is a formal bank appraisal that shows an as stabilized value, and that's what that number is reflecting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, versus obviously just sitting there as the ground is today.
And like you said before, we actually approved this for Bosch, right? Is Bosch the only other?
No, so at the time that I came forward, I'm wanting to say it was back in February. I don't have the exact dates, but we were informed back then, actually by Bosch Berries, that they were wanting to apply, and I think kind of shortly after Horse Soldier kind of came forward and noted some intention as well, but really not as advanced at that time as Bosch. But I can give you an update. So they are still in the process of applying, and I do anticipate like their full application in the next few days. So we would be reaching back out and to get on a maybe a September fiscal court agenda for Bosch's request too.
Martin, have you had time to review this?
Then are you asking us then to approve this resolution as what we need to do today?
That is correct, yeah. That is the
Okay.
request in front of you, is for the resolution approval.
I need a motion to approve the resolution that's in front of you.
Motion to approve?
Mr. Strunk makes that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Wilson. Do we have any more discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
No?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Is there any other business or any other motion that we need to make as far as any other part of this agreement?
No, not at this time. Like I said, with regards to the EPAD financing agreement, once that gets finalized towards the closing date, and then also that notice of assessment in that final assessment schedule, those would be the two items that would need a final sign-off at that point in time. And like I said, I've been informed that the closing with the construction loan and the PACE financing loan would be a simultaneous day of. Again, I've been told like a September 10th through the 15th, all that stuff kind of gets down towards a final date, but that's what's been communicated to me.
Okay.
Yeah. And I would also just relay to the horse soldier team, said they appreciate everybody's time and consideration for this as well. And then, like I said, hopefully can be back, with some communication on the Bosch Berries application as it comes in too.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Next item of business would be approval to hire a private audit service. We have been through 3 audits in the last 20 months, and we're getting ready to start the 4th audit. They've asked for us to hire a private audit firm because the state has done it for 3 consecutive years, and they sent me a letter that they did not have staff and did not want to tackle Pulaski County again for a while, so they wanted to take a break. So they've asked us to hire a private audit service. And Krista, you have reached out to a couple with advisement from the state. Would you present some of that? I think you have a package in front of you.
So we got a proposal from Patrick and Associates. Tammy Patrick actually retired from the state auditor's office, so she comes highly recommended by several other counties and by the state auditor's office. Her proposal comes in at, give me just a second, I should have been prepared. I think it's over 30,000, which is almost half of what the state auditor's office had charged us for the last audit.
Page 11.
Thank you.
It's a blank page.
It's a back of left, back side of the back.
Page 11 is blank.
It's blank.
Well, I have 11, it's on there. It's, total cost is $31,500. The financial statement audit would be $27,500, and then a single audit if required. That's for extra spending that's done through ARPA or other funding. That's $4,000 if it's required by the state, and the total cost is $31,500.
It will be required this year.
It will be
Yeah,
required.
with the community block development grant that we got for Foothills, we've expended over $1 million this year in federal funding.
Okay. So total cost will be $31,500 for private. It is comparison to the last year that we did the state audit. It cost us in excess of $60,000.
Did we bid that? Do we have to bid
Yeah,
it?
that's what I was
It's
gonna
over
say.
30,000. Do we have
It's
to bid it?
30,000. Do we have to bid it out?
Well, no, it's a personal services contract, so you don't have to.
You don't have to bid it?
You can, you don't have to.
I would ask for just approval, probably in the form of a motion. It is a standing order that we don't have to, since it's professional service, but to remain on the up and up, I guess I should get an approval to do that, since we're hiring a private firm.
Do you get the approval to go ahead and bid it out?
No, go
Or
ahead
to
and
go
hire,
ahead and-
go ahead and hire this firm.
Okay. So I got a couple, in that case, I got a couple other questions. You said that the state recommended this company?
Well, our previous auditor suggested.
The previous, so the
The
state.
state can't recommend a private
Well,
audit.
okay, the previous state auditors, because that's who did it, right? So, did they recommend any other companies to look at?
Actually, they recommended one other one.
Uh-huh.
I'll be honest with you, I did approach them, but we didn't get anything back from their office. Being that Tammy has retired from the state auditor's office, and with me and Marshall both being new, I felt like with her working for the state auditor's office, she would probably audit close to the same way they do. So we would know if there was any issues and be able to address them and correct them going forward.
Looks like on page 10, there's a listing of all the other entities that that this firm does audits with. Chris, is that right? Looks like several other fiscal courts and also some school districts, extension offices, et cetera. And I agree, I think it's important to have somebody that knows how the state's gonna look at things. Makes it a whole lot easier and simpler when they do come back in.
Make a motion to approve Patrick and Associates through our audit.
Mr. Strunk makes a motion to approve,
Second.
second by Mr. Renshaw. Any other comments or questions? Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
No.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Got one addition to the agenda. Mr. Mark Vaught has something has to be an election.
He does.
2 minutes, Mark, 2 minutes.
2 minutes? I just asked for 90 seconds, but I'll take 2 minutes. I dropped off in front of y'all a little thing there. It's just, we got our voting plan approved by the State Board of Elections, and it's just a summation of the options that any citizen in Pulaski County can do to cast their vote on this upcoming election on November the 5th. The first page covers mail-in options and how you can mail them back in or drop them off at one of our 3 drop boxes at the county clerk's main office here at 100 Main Street, or the former BB&T Bank at 124 North Main Street, or the former First and Farmers Bank at 2821 South Main Street. The second page has your in-person voting options. We've got 3 different ones. We call it an excused voting period, which begins on the 23rd of October and runs through the 30th. That starts on a Wednesday and ends on a Wednesday. And you can come into the clerk's office here at 100 North Main Street, and if you qualify for one of the 17 different items that we allow for an excused voting, you can vote here in the office. Very few people take advantage of this. I think the last election we had 20, and the one before that we had 28. So this is a seldom used option, but it's available for the people who are going out of town or prior to the non-excused voting period that I'm going to talk about next. Beginning on Halloween, October the 31st, which is a Thursday, and running through November the 2nd, we have our non-excused voting period. That means anybody can go to any of our 3 voting centers that are open those 3 days, and the 4th one, which will be Nancy, on Saturday, and vote there. They don't have to have an excuse. All they got to have is a ID, preferably a driver's license. We're open on Thursday and Friday from 8 to 6, and on Saturday from 8 to 4. Again, those places are Hal Rogers Regional Fire Training Center, 180 Oak Leaf Lane, Rocky Hollow Recreational Center at 142 South Central, and South Kentucky RECC, the community room there at 200 Electric Avenue. And on Saturday, we're going to have the Nancy Elementary Gym open at 240 Highway 196 in Nancy. And on Election Day, as you see, we've got 9 places open. The Hal Rogers, the Rocky Hollow, and the South Kentucky. I mentioned earlier Nancy, as well as Science Hill School, Old Shotwell Gym, Oak Hill Baptist Church, Gymnasium, Jordan Christian Academy Fellowship Hall, and now Eubank Senior Citizen Center. They're at 510 Highway 70 in Eubank. On the 3rd page is a calendar. The days which you can consider in order of mail-in ballot are in, I don't know, light purple. The blue days are the excused ones. The green ones, the 31st and the 1st, are the 8 to 6 days. And that Saturday should be gold, but it looks more like it's yellow. That's my 8 to 4 times. And of course, we got Election Day on November the 5th. We are expecting large crowds. We wish everybody to sit there and vote early as possible. And this can be obtained through the clerk's office. We'll have these printed out at all 3 locations. If you want to email me, mark.vaught@ky.gov, I'll email you one. And I don't know what else to say. We're expecting 33,000 people. More than that, so it's going to be a huge turnout, and pray for us.
Thanks, Mark.
Any questions?
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you all. Thank y'all for letting me speak. Good job, Tim.
Moving on to department reports. Up first will be Brian with Fleet Maintenance.
I'd like to ask the court's permission to hire
advertise the hire.
To advertise to hire.
Motion to advertise?
Mr. Strunk makes a motion to advertise for hire, permission to hire.
Second.
Second by Mr. Turpin. Any discussion?
Yeah, what are we advertising the hire for?
Mechanics.
Are we adding to the current mechanic,
Yes.
or to replace some mechanics?
Well, due to the recent change in the program there, we're gonna add 2 more, 1 with each facility.
So one on the fleet maintenance and one on the fire maintenance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
No.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
And then, I'd like to have permission to advertise to get bids on an excavator. For the road department.
If I'm right, the lease is up on one and
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
just,
Lease is coming due, or, it's up on it, and,
so we either have to purchase or buy a different one.
yeah, either purchase that one or buy a different one.
We've had one leased for 6 months, and we've done a tremendous amount of work with it, and it's been a great addition to our fleet, and the lease is up, and we're asking permission to advertise for bids.
Motion.
To purchase that, or another one likewise. Motion by
Second.
Mr. Strunk, second by Mr. Wilson.
My question is, do we have the money in the budget already to purchase a piece of equipment like this?
I think we do, yeah. We've allowed some for purchasing in the budget. So we'll see what the bid is.
Okay.
Any other comments? All in favor, say aye.
No.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
Missed that other one.
Sleep at the wheel.
Next would be solid waste. Mr. Danny Maston.
This morning, I'd like to ask permission to hire TK Phillips part-time starting tomorrow. This will be funded by the Solid Waste Board.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Rancho. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Turpin. Any discussion on a part-time hire at solid waste? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Danny. Road Department, Mr. Wayne.
Morning.
Good morning.
I'd like to ask for 3,000 ton of rock.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wilson,
Second.
second by Mr. Strunk. Any discussion on the rock? All in favor, say aye.
No.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
And I'd like to ask for 4,000 gallon of patch oil.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wilson, second by Mr. Strunk. Any discussion on the patch hole? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. I will bring up the road list. We have the road list in front of you. In the first district, we have a speed limit on Anderson Road at 25 mile an hour. We'll have to vote on that separate. Do I have a motion on 25 mile an hour speed limit on Anderson Road in the first district?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wilson,
Second.
second by Mr. Strunk. Any discussion on that? All in favor, say aye.
No.
Any opposed? Motion passes. And now, on the rest of the road list, if you've had time to look at that, I need a motion to approve road list.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Strunk,
Second.
second by Mr. Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
No.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Moving right along. We're at Finance. Ms. Chrissa.
I'm looking for approval for the July bank reconciliations.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Rancho on bank recs. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
No.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Okay. I would also like to ask the board's approval for the July treasurer's settlement.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Rancho. Second by Mr. Turpin on the monthly treasurer settlement. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
No.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Any other business to be brought before the court? Seeing none, I will ask for any citizens' comments. If there is any, please approach the podium. Seeing none, I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wilson and second by Mr. Renshaw. All in favor say aye. We stand adjourned. Thank you very much for coming.